Hello and welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and Jill and I took Friday Reads on the road today, and we are at Wildfire Coffee out in Kimberly, sitting by the fireplace, just enjoying a nice winter day, actually. So last week we did romance for all you romance lovers, and this week we're doing romance gone bad. Relationships that shouldn't have been, didn't work out, thrillers, you name it. So for all of you who are more anti-romance, this might be the week for you. So Jill, what's your first pick?
My first one is How to Kill Men and Get Away with It by Katie Brent. Meet Kitty Collins, friend, lover, killer. He was following me, that guy from the nightclub who wouldn't leave me alone. I hadn't intended to kill him, of course, but I wasn't displeased when I did. And despite the mess I made, I appeared to get away with it. That's where my addiction started. I've got a taste for revenge, and quite frankly, I'm killing it. A deliciously dark, hilariously twisted story about friendship, love, and murder. Fans of My Sister and the Serial Killer, How to Kill Your Family, and Killing Eve will love this wickedly clever novel. How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. If you're not in the mood for romance.
My first pick comes from our YA collection this week, and this is The Fear by Natasha Preston, and this was published back in 2022. It's hot on the heels of the New York Times bestsellers The Twin and The Lake. So don't be afraid, be terrified. It's just a stupid meme that's going around their small fishing town in the dead of winter, people reposting and sharing their biggest fear. But when her classmates start turning up dead, dying in the way that they said scared them the most, Izzy knows this isn't a joke. With each death hitting closer to home, Izzy sets out to try to stop the killer. Could her older sister's friend Tristan have something to do with this? He's given her some strange vibes. Or what about his brooding cousin Axel? But he's in her classes at school, and he's not a murderer. But Izzy's soon on a path that will lead her right to the kill her and her own worst nightmare. So, The Fear.
The Fear. My next one is kind of fun. They kind of put the sticker in an interesting place in this book. This is The Amazing Grace Adams by Fran Littlewood. And this was published in 2023. Bernadette, Eleanor Oliphant, Rosie Ove meet Amazing Grace Adams, the funny, touching, unforgettable story of an invisible everywoman pushed to the brink, who finally pushes back. Grace Adams gave birth, blinked, and now suddenly she is 45, perimenopausal, and stalled. The unhappiest age you can be, according to The Guardian, and today she's losing it. Stuck in traffic, she's finally had enough. To the astonishment of everyone, Grace gets out of her car and simply walks away. Grace sets off across London armed with a $200 cake and a win back her estranged teenage daughter on her 16th birthday. Because today is the day she'll remind her daughter that no matter how far we fall, we can always get back up again. Because Grace Adams used to be amazing. Her husband thought so. Her daughter even thought so. Even Grace thought so. But everyone seems to have forgotten. And Grace is about to remind them. And most important, remind herself. So, Amazing Grace Adams, in case you want to start loving yourself this Valentine's Day.
My next pick is The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney, published in 2017. Please make a list of every possession you consider essential to your life. The request seems odd, even intrusive, and for the two women who answer, the consequences could be devastating. First woman is Emma. Reeling from a traumatic break-in, Emma wants a new place to live, but none of the apartments she sees are affordable or feels safe, until 1 Folgate Street. The house is an architectural masterpiece. But there are rules. The enigmatic architect who designed the house retains full control. No books, no throw pillows, no photos or clutter or personal effects of any kind. The space is intended to transform its occupant. Ooh. Second woman is Jane. After a personal tragedy, Jane needs a fresh start. When she finds 1 Folgate Street, she's instantly drawn to the space and to its aloof but seductive creator. Moving in, Jane soon learns about the untimely death of the home's previous tenant, a woman similar to Jane in age and appearance. As Jane tries to untangle truth from lies, she unwittingly follows the same patterns, makes the same choices, crosses paths with the same people, and experiences the same terror as the girl before.
That one seems intense. So this next one it might have a little bit of romance in it. It's got enemies to lovers theme, which some people enjoy. This is Next Door Nemesis. You can't really see the title with that big sticker. By Alexa Martin. Next Door Nemesis. After years of hustling, Collins Carter has finally made it back to her parents' house. Between tending to the compost with her newly retired dad and running into her high school nemesis at the only decent coffee shop in town, Collins realizes this subdivision from hell she swore she'd never return to is her rock bottom. Then the Homeowners Association complaint arrived. Nathaniel Adams always dreamed of a nice, quiet life in his suburban hometown, or at least that's what he thought until Collins moved back and sent his quaint, organized life into a tailspin. He thought Collins was infuriating 10 years ago, but when she announces she's running against him for HOA president, all bets are off. From secret board meetings to vicious smear campaigns whispered over backyard fences, Collins and Nate sink to levels their sleepy suburb have never seen before. But as hate turns into lust, these two enemies are forced to reckon with feelings they've ignored for years. If only there were bylaws for real life. Next Door Nemesis.
Cute cover. Next pick comes from a popular author, Leah Moriarty's Big Little Lies. Watch this series also. The book was published back in 2014. A murder, a tragic accident, or just parents behaving badly. What's indisputable is that someone is dead. Madeline is a force to be reckoned with. She's funny, biting, and passionate. She remembers everything, and she forgives no one. Celeste is the kind of beautiful woman who makes the world stop and stare, but she is paying a price for the illusion of perfection. New to town, single mom Jane is so young that another mother mistakes her for the nanny. She comes with a mysterious past and a sadness beyond her years. These three women are at different crossroads, but they will all wind up in the same shocking place. Big Little Lies is a brilliant take on ex-husbands and second wives, mothers and daughters, schoolyard scandal, and little lies that can turn lethal. So I thought Nicole Kidman was amazing in that series and her
this was a great
relationship
series.
with her husband. So Big Little Lies.
I think I loved the series and the book.
I did too on that one.
So this one says it's a love story, but honestly, I think somebody's dead by these CD houses. This is by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finley Boyan, Mad Honey. It was published in 2022. Olivia McPhee knows what it feels like to start over. Her picture-perfect life, living in Boston, married to a brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon, raising a beautiful son Asher, was upended when her husband revealed a darker side. She never imagined she would end up back in her sleepy New Hampshire hometown, living in a house she grew up in and taking care of her father's beekeeping business. Lily Campanella was familiar with do-over stew when she and her mom relocated to Adams, New Hampshire for her final year of high school. They both hope it will be a fresh start. And just for a short while, these new beginnings are exactly what Olivia and Lily need. Their paths cross when Asher falls for the new girl in school, and Lily can't help but fall for him too. With Ash, she feels happy for the first time, yet at times she wonders if she can trust him completely. Then one day, Olivia receives a phone call. Lily is dead, and Asher is being questioned by the police. Olivia is adamant that her son is innocent, but she would be lying if she didn't acknowledge the flashes of her father's temper in him. And as the case with him unfolds, she realizes he's hidden more than he's shared with her. So, Mad Honey.
Still on my list of books to read.
That was good.
My fourth pick is The Wife by Meg Wolitzer, and this was published back in 2003. The moment I decided to leave him, the moment I thought, enough. We were 35,000 feet above the ocean, hurtling forward but giving the illusion of stillness and tranquility, just like our marriage. So opens Meg Wolitzer's compelling and provocative novel, The Wife, as Joan Castleman sits beside her husband on their flight to Helsinki. Joan's husband, Joseph, is one of those men who own the world, who has no idea how to take care of himself or anyone else, and who derives much of his style from the Dylan Thomas Handbook of Personal Hygiene and Etiquette. He's also one of America's preeminent novelists, about to receive a prestigious international award to honor his accomplishments. And Joan, who has spent 40 years subjugating her own literary talents to fan the flames of his career, has finally decided it's time to stop. So from this gripping opening, Wolitzer flashes back 50 years to 1950 Smith College in Greenwich Village, the beginnings of their relationship, and follows the course of the famous marriage that has brought them to this breaking point, culminating in a shocking ending that outs a carefully kept secret. So, saw the movie. Glenn Close played the wife in this, I think, and it was really good. So, check out the book, The Wife. It's a skinny read, but about a relationship when you finally had enough is enough.
Enough is enough. So this one goes back to 2014, and you might have already read it. And it also has a Netflix, I think it's a Netflix series, You by Carolyn Kepnes. When beautiful, aspiring writer strides into an East Village bookstore where Joe Goldberg works, he does what anyone would do. He Googles the name on her credit card. There's only one Guinevere Beck in New York City. She has a public Facebook account and tweets incessantly, telling Joe everything he needs to know. She is simply Beck to her friends. She went to Brown University. She lives on Bank Street, and she'll be at a bar in Brooklyn tonight, the perfect place for a chance meeting. As Joe invisibly and obsessively takes control of Beck's life, he orchestrates a series of events to ensure Beck finds himself in his waiting arms. Moving from stalker to boyfriend, Joe transforms himself into Beck's perfect man, all while quietly removing the obstacles that stand in their way, even if it means murder. A terrifying exploration of how vulnerable we are to stalking and manipulation. So, if you need a good stalker novel, this is the one. This is
You. My last book is kind of hard to read the cover a little bit with the script, but it's Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire, published in 2011. The new Abby Abernathy is a good girl. She doesn't drink, swear, and she has the appropriate number of cardigans in her wardrobe. I like her already. Abby believes she has enough distance from the darkness of her past, but when she arrives at college with her best friend, her path to a new beginning is quickly challenged by Eastern University's walking one-night stand. Travis Maddox, lean, cut, and covered in tattoos, is exactly what Abby needs and wants to avoid. He spends his nights winning money in a floating fight ring and his days as the ultimate college campus charmer. Intrigued by Abby's resistance to his appeal, Travis tricks her into his daily life with a simple bet. If he loses, he must remain abstinent for a month. But if Abby loses, she must live in Travis's apartment for the same amount of time. Either way, Travis has no idea that he has met his match. This is actually the first book in the Beautiful series, and it's followed by Mrs. Maddox, Walking Disaster, and several others. So, Beautiful Disaster.
That is on my list too. And not because I'm anti-romance. Well, if you are facing Valentine's Day and you don't like love, we hope we have something for you here.
Some of our romance gone bad books. Thanks for watching us. You can find us on our Facebook page, on the Kimberly Library's website. Jill puts a link to the YouTube channel from there. Love to hear what you're reading in this season. A lot of people have been coming in for books, and we'd love to hear what you're finding that must-reads on your list. So until next time, we thank you for watching.
Bye.